Oh, this is Dr. Michael Greger coming to you live from my treadmill to bring you the good news that we have tremendous power over our health, destiny, and longevity. The vast majority of premature death and disability is preventable with a plant-based diet and other healthy lifestyle behaviors. All right, let me pull up. Actually, I got to pull up the event page so I can see all your questions streaming in. Let me do that first. Let me turn my speaker off so we don't get a crazy echo effect. The reason I'm a little behind here is I was just doing a half-hour live on Facebook that ended just at 12:30, so I had to switch over. But any moment now. Oh, I gotta find out where my where the event page is. All right. Should be here. So I'm going to NutritionFacts.org where we usually post the link. And there it is. Join on YouTube right now. Ta-da! Okay, I'm clicking. Join us today for live Q&A. Why is this not working? If there's any Nutrition Facts staff watching this, please Skype me the link. Not Skype me the link. Slack me the link. Anybody? I need the link. The link isn't showing up for me on, I think I had to do it before it showed up. Need YouTube link now. Stat. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So I'm sorry I can't see your questions until well, maybe if I just go to the YouTube channel, it'll show up. Let's find out. Oh, I think I just got it. Christina saved the day. Okay, Christina's our social media manager. You should know her well. Okay, here I am. I'm on the official page. Sorry about that delay. Looking for your questions. There we go. Tons of questions. Wonderful. Okay, what toothpaste do I use? Dr. G asks Osagir's Raw Vegan Recovery. I use vitamin B12 Fortified toothpaste. How cool is that? In Germany, this wonderful group called ProVeg realized that, some people don't like taking vitamin B12 supplements. Look, people eating plant-based diets, a regular, reliable source of vitamin B12 is critical. And so they partnered up with some company to produce vitamin B12 fortified toothpaste. And the question is, well, wait a second, is this just some, does it actually work? No, so they commissioned a study. In fact, the study was published in one of the most prestigious nutrition journals, American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and showed that indeed it's effective. And so it must be kind of absorbed. You don't have to swallow the stuff. It comes absorbed through the oral mucosa, through your gums or something. And so they gave me a free tube of B12 fortified toothpaste. So that's the toothpaste I'm using. Anyway. But I supplement with vitamin B12, 2,500 micrograms cyanocobalamin once a week, so I don't need to take B12 toothpaste. But look, it's free, so that's why I'm using it. Anyway, Darlene says, good morning with lots of hearts. Happy belated Valentine's Day to you, Darlene. The Oily Mama Tribe asks, I finally catch you. I don't understand your question. Dylan asks, have I read any science about Raynaud's, which is a condition where when your blood flow to your fingers can get cinched off when you're exposed to cold. I don't know of any dietary interventions. Though I do have a video about citrus. How if you eat citrus, you actually maintain temperature in your fingers longer by improving blood flow. But these weren't Raynaud's people. These were just people who were plunging their hands in ice water. But maybe it would work as well. But I don't know. So if you type in Raynaud's and diet into PubMed.org, the database of the largest medical library in the world, and you find anything, let me know, and maybe I'll do a video about it. Okay. Rosaxina asks, which plant foods contain lead? I mentioned in the video the most lead exposure comes from plant foods. So the most concentrated lead exposure comes from lead ammunition shot game. Even if you dig out the bullets, there's this dispersal of little microscopic lead fragments. I did this whole long series, in fact, probably too long, over a dozen videos on lead and how you can get contaminated from a variety of sources. Basically, the entire world is contaminated. Why? Because we had this toxin being pumped out from every car and truck in the world, thanks to the leaded gas industry. And so we've basically blanketed our world with lead. That's why we wash our fruits and vegetables, because there's lead in the air and it settles down on things, but we can rinse it off. And so anyway, watch my lead series. That's why I did it. And also has things you can eat to reduce lead toxicity as well. This is particularly important for anytime there is any loss of bone, whether during menopause or osteoporosis or during pregnancy, where there's bone turnover, because that's where your lead, most of your lead is stored in your bones. When there's any kind of dissolution of the bone, your lead levels can go up, and pregnancy is not the time you want your lead levels to be going up. Got lots of videos about that as well, including using calcium supplementation to cut down on lead levels. All right. Mariah asks, what does it mean my nails are missing lunula? Should I be concerned? So that's a moon shape. I have no idea. I've never heard of that. I don't know if that has any meaning whatsoever. Presumably that's just where your nails are attached. I do not know, but look it up on PubMed.gov, and if there's anything juicy, let me know, and maybe I'll do a video about it. Chick Magnet. Sodium versus sodium chloride. Is it the salt or the sodium is it the salt or the sodium? The salt and the sodium are bad. We should cut down our sodium intake to 1,500 milligrams a day, which basically means no processed foods, low in animal food. So basically, a whole food plant-based diet will get you down naturally, and you shouldn't add salt in the kitchen or at the dining room table. So 1,500 milligrams is the recommendation from the American Heart Association. Jennifer Stone asks, have I run across any information on aortic aneurysms? Absolutely. If you type in AAA, as in abdominal aortic aneurysm, into NutritionFacts.org, I know I have some old videos come up. I don't know if there's anything we've done since, but check it out. In fact, so old, I don't remember what they said. Otherwise, I'd just tell you right now. It's not like I'm just trying to plug the site. It's a long time ago. Live Safe or Live Safe Academy LLC asks, does freezing turmeric, ginger, or hot chilies reduce the health benefits? I would suspect not, although I've never seen that put to the test particularly. But I assume those the nutrients would not be harmed. Melissa asks, excited about my videos on mycotoxins. Me too. I learn as much as anybody else does when they watch my videos. I don't know it until I read the new research, and then I know it, and I have this urge to share it with everybody. The next one is just very sweet. Brendan asks, TVP, textured vegetable protein, ? So TVP is a yellow light food. Why? Because it's a processed plant food. You removed much of the fiber, basically just left with soy protein, which is maybe better than some other sources of protein. But ideally, we would eat soybeans themselves, like edamame, or whole soy food like tempeh or miso. All right. Gia Kuchia asks my thoughts on green powders such as spirulina. I encourage people to stay away from spirulina, stay away from blue-green algae, but eat all the chlorella you want. And it's because we're concerned about toxins, neurotoxins, hepatotoxins, not necessarily made by spirulina itself, but because they just scoop it out of these lakes, there's contaminants with algae like blue-green algae that actually do make these contaminants on an idiosyncratic basis. So unless you're testing every batch, which should be pretty expensive, you don't know what you're getting. So stick to chlorella. You don't have to eat any green powders. Kale is cheaper than chlorella, but kale is harder to sprinkle on your popcorn. And so in my house, we call it zombie corn because this is like bright green popcorn with nutrition yeast. And where was I? I was in Winnipeg, Canada last week, and a call-in. I was on the radio show it was on the commute back to work. Oh, it was CBC, right? Canadian Broadcasting. Anyway, someone called up and said, what's such a great question? How do you make your nutritional yeast stick to the popcorn? So I talked about presumably, I don't remember this, but in How Not to Die, I talk about how a snack I like is air-pop popcorn with nutritional yeast sprinkled on it. And the question was, how do you make it stick to the nutritional yeast? Because obviously we're not using butter or anything. And I was like, wow, that's such a high-level question. Like, good for Winnipegians, or I don't know. So what you do is you get a little spritz bottle. I'm sure I have some around. You get these little spritz bottles. You fill it with apple cider vinegar. And then you spritz it on the popcorn, and then you put on the nutritional yeast, chlorella, any other powders you want. And then so the apple cider vinegar gives it this kind of like salt and vinegar potato chip kind of flavor. And so then it sticks perfectly. I mean, you don't want to pour it on because then it'll get all soggy. But you spritz it on, sprinkle the powders. Oh my God, so yummy. All right, now I'm getting hungry. I didn't get to eat lunch yet. And this is one of my, 20 interview days. And so it's going to be a while. But anyway, maybe I'll have some popcorn tonight. Okay. Oh, Thong Mai. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Can I comment on MSG? Oh boy, do I have some old video on MSG. So, I may only have one video on MSG where at the time, the best available balance of evidence was that MSG was harmless. So it was I did a series of videos on harmful, helpful, or helpful, harmless, or harmful, something like that. And I'd be like, what about this? And MSG was one of those, and I think it came out harmless. And that was probably, I don't know, like 2007 or something. So we are like 11 years out. What's been happening in the MSG world in the last 11 years? I have no idea. But if there's enough interest, I'd be happy to do another video on the topic. But when I did do that video, it was considered harmless. Okay. Oh, Will says, wow, this is live. This is indeed live. I am coming to you live from my treadmill in the Washington, D.C. area. Okay, Manuel asks, do marathon athletes live longer? It's a fantastic question. I do not know the answer to that. Oh, but find out and let me know. That's neat. Marjorie says, hello. Hello. Divya asks, how do I convince loved ones that dairy is unhealthy when doctors recommend it as a part of a healthy diet? Well, I mean, if you're willing to, you can ask your doctor, to provide you evidence that there aren't healthier way, that it's really the healthiest way to get those nutrients. So, I mean, certainly there's calcium in dairy, just like there's protein in pork and iron in beef. But, food is a package deal, right? As much as Burger King says, have it your way, you can't be like, yeah, I got to get a burger, hold the saturated fat, cholesterol, hormones, all that stuff. No, it all comes together. So by getting your calcium from low oxalate dark green leafy vegetables, for example, then the baggage you get is not baggage, it's the bonus, right? You get the fiber and the folate and the iron and all these other wonderful things found the greens missing from the dairy. Every time. So basically, since food is a package deal, we should get our nutrients in the package that's healthiest. So now you can get a box of Fruit Loops. It says now with calcium in it. There's this, the food industry loves this nutrient centrism, the sense that, we just need the individual nutrients. It's all about nutrients rather than food. They love that because then they can take absolute junk, multicolored marshmallows, spray it with some multivitamins, and then claim it's healthy when we're not dying from deficiency diseases like beriberi and plague and kwashiorkor and scurvy. We're dying from these excess diseases like excess sugar, salt, saturated fat, cholesterol, and that's, of course, what they're trying to sell you after sprinkling some vitamins on it. Boy, did I get off topic. What was the question? Oh, dairy. Ha! Yes, you can get calcium in dairy, but there are healthier sources of calcium. I encourage you to do that. So you can get calcium without the butterfat, without the cholesterol, and with all these other wonderful added bonus ingredients. So that's what I would recommend. So, right? So food isn't, bad nor good, but better or worse. And there's certainly better sources than dairy. Milk is for babies. All right, Cleveland Clinic states that eggs are healthy to consume. And again, it's, well, compared to what? Compared to breakfast sausage? Absolutely, I agree. Whoa. Compared to oatmeal? Not even close, right? And so, look, food is a lost opportunity. Every time, food has an opportunity cost. Every day, we only have about, 2,000 calories in the calorie bank every day. So every time we put something in our mouth, it's a lost opportunity to put something even healthier in our mouth. So it's lots healthier things to put in our mouths than eggs. Shara asks, would I ever do a series on polycystic ovaries? Yes, I've got videos on PCOS. Check it out. Type PCOS into NutritionFacts.org and they'll pop right up. I think I have a few more coming out in the queue. Casey Cantor, event page. Yes. Are the live questions being posted? No, they are right here in the chat box. I call it an event page just because in YouTube, when you sign up to do a live thing, it calls it an event. But no, this is where you do. You ask your questions, Casey. Type away. Mike asks, any good tips for type 1 diabetics who started eating whole food plant-based? What's his name? Mango Man guy. A fellow type 1 diabetic eating whole food plant-based. He does a series of diabetes workshops. And he, I'm sure, would be happy to talk to you about that. What's his name other than Mango Man? Mango Man. All right, I'm just Googling very quickly. There he is. Okay, I don't feel so bad. Mango Man, nutrition and fitness. That's not just his, so his name is Cyrus. His name is Cyrus. What's his last name? Cyrus Kambata. So if you go to mangomannutrition.com, you can learn about his stuff. Okay. Where are we? Okay. Charlie L. What are the best foods for weight loss? That's such a great question. I just started my new book, How Not to Diet. Manuscript's due in March. Will be out December 2019. And so I'm working on that right as we speak. But even before I'm doing all the new research for the book, presumably things that are high in fiber and water, high in nutrient density, low in caloric density would be a good place to start. And so that's one of the reasons why whole food plant-based diets appear to be so useful in allowing people to eat all they want, but lose weight. Just because plant foods tend to be so calorically dilute that you can eat till you're full and without overdoing calories. All right. Simon says, thoughts on anything in particular? JF says, do dried fruits raise triglycerides? Dried fruits in the context of excess calories can, just as anything can, raise triglycerides. But just dried fruits on their own should not affect your triglyceride levels. Yeah. But same thing with like soda. If you got a sip of soda, it's not going to raise your triglycerides either, but you have a liter of soda and your triglycerides will shoot up. Rosexina asks, thank you for answering my questions. Great. And her real name is Roshni, and I'm 16 years old and admires and says that veganism cured her eczema too. Wonderful. I'm so glad that your fingers feel better. Hacksign21 says, how have I been? Good, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, wonderful. 8 months eating healthy, happier than ever. That's what I like to hear. Wonderful. Asagir's Raw Vegan Recovery asks, what's the best mouthwash? Green tea with some amla added. That's what I use for a mouthwash. And so if you type in mouthwash, all those videos will pop up. The most important thing is stay away from antibiotic mouthwashes, because you have these bacteria that live on your tongue that take the able to use the nitrates that are pumped out in your salivary glands to give you all sorts of wonderful benefits from the nitrate-rich vegetables you eat, but you blow it. You ruin all those wonderful nitrates from arugula or beetroot if you have killed off those good bacteria on your tongue. So no antimicrobial mouthwash. And the green tea and amla, which is dried Indian gooseberry powder, you can just make your own in a shake bottle, will help reduce your cavity risk. I think that's why that I made that concoction. But you have to check the video to check it out. All right. So Rebecca says, can a Crohn's patient eat bread? And so this is probably a reference to a video series I did about how Crohn's patients may want to reduce their intake of baker's yeast, brewer's yeast, and nutritional yeast. So thinking about baker's yeast, so you would have to eat, I guess, an unleavened bread, quick breads, a matzah, in order to cut down one's intake of yeast. Do we have I know you got to watch the series of videos. I was really quite compelled. So there's both hidradenitis suppurativa, one autoimmune disease, and Crohn's disease, which seem to improve cutting down on yeast. So now I used it as a way to encourage people not to go out of their way to add yeast to their diet, like I wouldn't be adding nutritional yeast to foods. But yeah, one could take that logical step to try to stay away from yeast altogether to see if that improves your condition. And so that would include most yeast-raised breads. Primo Z. Or I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Are there any news? Is there any news about psoriasis in diet? Yeah, I think I have a video about psoriasis. I've just typed in psoriasis, NutritionFacts.org, it'll pop up. I think it was in relation. It's escaping me now. No, check it out. I think I do. If I don't, let me know. And it might be a video coming up, and I can give you a sense of when that video will be out. Okay, Keelan asks, is it just a myth that cow's milk leaches calcium from the bones? Yeah, it's a myth. Cow's milk does not leach calcium from the bones. Even if it did, it has so much calcium in it that the overall calcium balance would be maintained. Yeah, don't Yeah, calcium does not leach calcium from the bones. Cow's milk does not leach calcium from the bones. And so I have a video with something about the title is Animal Protein, Bones, Calcium, something like that. And it'll go through the science showing that that was a long-term misconception among the general nutrition community that high protein intakes lead to excess calcium loss. That's because high protein intakes increase the absorption of calcium predominantly. So all this calcium that you're peeing out after eating a steak isn't coming from your bones; it's actually coming from your diet predominantly. And so that, until we radioactively labeled calcium, we had no idea where the calcium was come from. And so no wonder we had this misconception. But we've known better for many, many years. Jody asked, please do a video about anaphylactic shock and oral allergy symptoms related to hay fever. I think the only anaphylaxis videos I have about are those crazy Lone Star tick videos where it gives people an allergy to red meat. You get bitten by a tick, and all of a sudden, you can get allergic reactions to eating meat. But I think that's the only ones I have. If anything pops up, I will let you know that I think is useful for a general audience. Skizzy Willie asks, says that that they've been eating plant-based, but still suffer from a fast resting heart rate and bad insomnia. What would you do? So both high resting heart rate and bad insomnia could both be reaction to stress or anxiety. So you may want to, obviously, as always, we want to root out the cause, treat the cause if there's a way that you can decrease the stress and anxiety in your life, if that is indeed the case. And then if it's unavoidable, then it's a matter of stress reduction techniques like mindfulness meditation and other things you can do to bring down your heart rate. And a lot of insomnia has to do with bad sleep hygiene. So, it should be dark and it should be cool and it should be, you shouldn't be drinking caffeine before bed. And there's all sorts of things. If you just type in sleep hygiene, you get a lot of tips, basic stuff. You want to have bright lights, those blue rays, blue wavelength lights at night, screws up your circadian rhythms, your melatonin production, etc. Try that. And if none of that makes any sense to you or doesn't work, then there are some medical conditions that could cause such things. So you should go see your doctor and get tested just to make sure you're not suffering from some kind of endocrinological issue. Rubalicious Crystal Geometry. How's that for a name? Just bought my book. That's wonderful. No question. Rebecca Porter says, any advice for trigeminal neuralgia? I don't know. I've never run across any dietary treatments for trigeminal neuralgia. Oh, although, what about my the hot sauce video? But I think the video is called "Hot Sauce in the Nose for Cluster Headaches?" Question mark. And so it was using capsaicin, the capsaicin to basically deplete the cranial nerves of their substance P, this pain transmitter. So I wonder if that would help with trigeminal neuralgia. So that would be my guess, but I'd have to look it up. But if you go into PubMed.gov and put in capsaicin, CAPCAISIN, I think that's the spelling, and trigeminal neuralgia, I bet it's at least been put to the test. I don't know what they found. All right, Natalie asks, diet suggestion for someone who's been plant-based but suffers from high cortisol, low estrogen, and chronic telogen effluvium. And so if you have, so people that suffer dramatic weight loss, I wouldn't say suffer, some people would love a dramatic weight loss for whatever reason, whether it's a healthy diet or unhealthy reasons to lose weight, you can, your hair loss. And normally each of our hairs only lasts a certain amount of time and then we lose it, but it happens, sporadically, and so we don't lose all our hair at the same time, basically. But after a severe weight loss or sudden weight loss, they can all kind of sync up, and so you don't actually not losing more hair than you normally would, but it's just happening at more of the same time. So you're losing, it appears to be losing a lot of your hair. And so if you went plant-based and lost a lot of weight, that could do it, and that'll normalize as soon as your weight normalizes, hopefully at a good, healthy weight. And then in terms of high cortisol, low estrogen, you'd have to kind of send me your labs, and I can see those in the context. Sometimes those are used, so-called high cortisol, low estrogen. You're actually not, and it's just some quacky alternative medicine doc trying to sell you crazy supplements or something. So let me just see what your values are, and I'd be happy to advise you or your physician. 314 Anist asks, are avocado pits safe and beneficial to grind and eat them? That is a kooky question. I have no idea, but I would advise against it. I do not think we were meant to eat avocado pits. The reason I'm being so hesitant here is because there actually are pits that could be deadly, like apricot seeds. So the seed inside the apricot seed is so high in cyanide that you can there's actually cases of people that opened all the little pits and got cyanide intoxication. And so now I'm not saying avocado pits have cyanide, but who knows what they have in them. Certainly it's never been put to the test. But we do have studies on people eating avocados and having good health outcomes. Stick to the avocados and use the pits as fun science experiment to grow little avocado trees on your windowsill with toothpicks for your kids. Will Tolley. Oh my God, I'm over time. I've got another interview starting right now, and I am going to have to apologize and tell them that my YouTube went a little late. Sorry about that. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful month.